JVC calls the GC PX100 the best consumer camcorder they have to offer. It has 5 high-speed frame rate options, maxing out at a whopping 600 frames per second. Let's take a look. Hey there, I'm Mia. The GC PX100 is an interesting little camcorder. It's small and lightweight at around 1.5 pounds, but it has the form factor of a still camera. You'll notice that the controls are even somewhat laid out like one, with an exposure knob, and the boxy body style is unusual in the camcorder market. One reason for that may be because this camcorder's most notable feature is one that you really want to take advantage of with a tripod. The PX100 can shoot in 5 high-speed frame rates, ranging from 120 frames per second all the way up to 600 frames per second. It'll capture high-speed action, like a baseball pitcher's motion or the swing of a bat, and slow it down so that you can see each little movement with stunning precision. The catch is when you speed the frame rate up, you lose a good amount of resolution. Now, the PX100 is capable of shooting 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is plenty fast. But if you're a coach looking to break down a pitcher's angles and movements, then you'll want to use high-speed frame rates to see the mechanics very clearly. Unfortunately, this means the resolution on your video will drop down to 640 by 360 at frame rates from 120 to 300 frames per second and down to 320 by 176 at 420 and 600 frames per second. Now, while footage captured at these resolutions will not have the pretty, crisp lines of HD video, the PX100 will allow you to play back the action that you captured instantly and in slow motion, without having to slow the footage down in a computer. The instantaneous feedback alone could make this a tremendous tool for a coach working with a player. Outside of athletics, here are some fun ways that you can use the PX100. Since smooth, slow-motion video is the flagship feature on this camera, JVC made it really easy to access. The time control button on the side will instantly pull up the frame rate options for the format that you're shooting in. The little wheel just in front of that button is an easy way to cycle through those frame rates so you can change it in a matter of seconds instead of poking around in a complex menu system. And very quickly, let me touch on the format options the PX100 offers. You can choose to shoot in AVC HD, MP4, and MOV. One thing that the PX100 really delivers on is instant gratification. You don't have to wait to see your high-speed frame rate in all its glory. The PX100 will play it back for you in slow-mo so you can check yourself immediately in the field. And if you use this camcorder's Wi-Fi feature with the JVC Cam Coach app, to connect to a tablet or smartphone, then you can control the PX100 remotely and you can watch your videos instantly in slow-mo playback. So you can check the exact angle and position of an athlete during practice. And if you send the videos to a tablet running the Cam Coach app, you can review 2 videos simultaneously. This way you can compare them side by side. Now let's look at the camera body a little. The zoom rocker sits on the very top of the camcorder, but you also have the option to touch zoom just by tapping the screen. You can preset 3 zoom options into the camcorder: full wide, full telephoto, and somewhere in the middle. Then all you have to do is tap the screen to change the zoom in an instant. For the best image quality, stick to the camera's 10x optical zoom. If you choose to go with the 200x digital zoom, the loss in picture quality will be noticeable, so I would suggest avoiding that if you can. And if you're shooting at a high frame rate with a low resolution, stay away from that digital zoom altogether. The high frame rate options combined with Wi-Fi and the slow-mo playback are all features that really make this camcorder stand out in the consumer market. Now let's go over the basics of the PX100. It has a roughly half-inch 12.8 megapixel back-illuminated CMOS image sensor and a wide-angle f1.2 super bright lens. It can record at a bit rate of up to 36 megabits per second, which is nice for a camera in this price range. The f1.2 lens, which starts at a fairly wide 29.5mm equivalent focal length, will allow you to capture decent shallow depth of field footage if you're hoping to capture some cinematic-looking video. When it comes to photos, this camera will shoot stills at 12 megapixels, but you also have a snapshot button right on top. And what that does is grab 9 consecutive stills while you record a video clip. These stills captured during video are 2.1 megapixel images, so in order to get the 12 megapixel image, you have to switch the camcorder over to still mode. Well, what else can you use the Wi-Fi for? Well, besides full control over most of the camcorder's functions during live monitoring, you can send a video email right from the PX100, and you can transfer recorded video files or pictures immediately to a tablet or a smartphone for viewing. Lastly, I want to point out that the backside illuminated sensor is meant to give the PX100 some chops in low light situations. I would say that for this price range, the PX100 does shoot some pretty good low light video. It's certainly not noise free, but I would use it without hesitation. Those are the basic standout features that I found in the JVC GC PX100. I love the high-speed frame rate options, but at such a low resolution, it's only really ideal for home videos or the practice field. I'd stay away from using it on the web or in broadcast. But the video shot at 1080p 60 looks good, and you could definitely use this camcorder for everyday and business applications. With the PX100, I'm Mia McCormick.
For more information, please visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. You can also connect with us on the web.